welcome to Ask Us Anything. It's Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're Mike and Jen, and we're live.
And it's a beautiful night.
And I just realized how silly that sounds. Yes, we're live, as opposed to dead, which would not be a good thing. Yes, it is a beautiful night. Hey, it's good to see there's a bunch of you already on, and that is always exciting to see. So we love seeing people on. We'll give some shout outs in a couple of minutes, but we wonder where you are. Have you been camping for the weekend? Let us know where you've been, what you've done, whether you're still out someplace. We are in Michigan, and let's see, last night we were at a Harvest Hosts stop. We were at a golf course. First time we've been at a Harvest Hosts golf course, and that was a lot of fun.
Very peaceful, very pretty, very green.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So we're working on a video on that. We've had 3 really good Harvest Hosts stops over the last month or so, and we're going to share those. We did this a couple of months ago, and we'll do it again on Thursday, show you some of the other places. But
I'm getting into the Harvest Host stops.
Well, you know, it's so much a hassle these days getting into campgrounds. So many campgrounds are just jammed up. They're all filled up with campers. You can't get a spot. The industry is still selling more RVs than they're creating campsites. So finding places to boondock and finding places like overnight RV parking, which is you can find a link on our RVlifestyle blog, which lets you stay free and tells you where to go and many places to stay free, and Harvest Host, which is one of our favorites. So no wonder we're getting into it. Some beautiful spots, and we've had a lot of fun.
We have. I'm looking forward to next time we go out.
Yeah. Hey,
look again.
A programming note. I know a lot of you watch us on demand because you can watch us, all the time on YouTube once it goes up. But we're recording this on Sunday night, the end of the 4th of July weekend. And we've been running a really neat special all 4th of July weekend. And I want to give you this last chance. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. How to follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. People keep saying, I don't ever hear you talk about Twitter. Well, we are on Twitter and we are on Instagram. And we do a lot on there. You can subscribe or follow us. RV Lifestyle Mike. That's where you'll find us. We love, so we are on those things. Yes, we're on Facebook, but we want you to know they're there. But anyway, this special has been pretty good. It's if you buy our boondocking guide, our introduction to boondocking, or our how to buy an RV books. We have 2 really good guides out there. You can also then pick up for free one of our 7-day adventure guides to either Colorado, Utah, the Upper Peninsula, or Yellowstone National Park. So you can pick up one of those free. That expires tonight at midnight tonight at the end of the 4th of July weekend. So that's where you go to get that at RVlifestyle.com books. Gee, all right, housekeeping out of the way. Let's do some shout outs. Let's start with the number 1 on our list. Larry Goslin is in Wisconsin. Hi, Larry. Muriel checks in from the UK. Hello, Muriel. Thank you for watching us over there. Let's see. Craig says it is black. What is up? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hopefully everybody can see us. He must be getting a black screen.
Maybe you came on before we went live. We went live at 7 o'clock Eastern, so I'm betting that was it, Craig, because it's video now. And noble pick, noble sound, says Craig. Thank you. We love hearing that. Washington, the state is waving at you. We just got back from a beautiful drive around the Cascade Loop. Oh, that is nice. That is great. Thank you, Rob, for checking in with us. KK Kayak, I love that name, checking in from Montello, Wisconsin. I'm not sure where Montello is. Let's see. Bertina Fisk says, we love watching you. You're new to all of this. Steve says, hi, Mike and Jen. Other than the extra serpentine belt you keep in your motor home, or your MM, I don't know what an MM is. Are there any other replacement repair parts that you travel with? That is an excellent question. And
can I say fuses?
Yes.
Extra fuses?
Yeah, I should pull that out. I showed that in one of our videos. I've got a bag full of fuses. What other parts do we have? Well, in fact, we're going to be doing a video in a couple weeks on some of the things that we have. A lube for the step And by the way, don't put WD-40 on your retractable step if you have an RV with one of those, a trailer or an RV. It builds up grease and that causes all sorts of issues in there. So we have a special lube we use for that. We have a lube for the slide. We have if the rubber gets really difficult on the slide, the insulation rubber that kind of goes along the tracks, we have a product that we do for that. But I think those are the main things that we carry. Fuses, I think, are the most important. And
I'm looking out there, and Bo is rolling around on his back, totally enjoying the cooler weather.
Oh, the weather broke here. We've had lots of humidity in Michigan, as they have in much of the country, and it's really, really nice now, and that's good. Sandra says, I'm getting black. Other channels working.
Oh, dear.
That's the second report of that. We shouldn't be having any problem with that because I think I'd be hearing from a whole bunch of you. So if that is the problem, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's just her. I see us on video up here. I see audio coming, so I don't know what to say, except everybody else seems to be getting us. So hopefully that's good. Let's see. CL Witham checking in from the brand new National Park, the newest national park, Indiana Dunes, on the southern shore of Lake Michigan. That's a beautiful park. We've been there before they made it a national park. Those are great dunes.
They are.
They are. So you have a great weekend. Thanks for checking in. Nancy is in Florida. Drew Bodoin is in our favorite city in Florida, Destin, Florida, and it's beautiful weather there. Drew, I don't know where you are in Destin, but we'll be there in about a month, I think, is on our schedule, right?
And our son and his wife and our grandson were playing baseball down in Destin.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess it was
they were
Panama.
at Panama City Beach. They had a big baseball tournament. But
Panama.
Yep, Destin is kind of our second home. Well, this is our second home, our RV, and then our third home would be Destin. And we use that as a base much of the year.
I like to consider the whole country our home.
It's the truth, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we hear stories breaking around the country about things happening in various parts of the country, it's like we know those areas now, and it does feel like our home. So
and
anyway,
we have
Drew,
friends there.
And we have friends everywhere you go. That's the beautiful. So this is a great time to be in Destin, and we'll be there in about a month. We're hitting the road Friday. We're heading through, well, let's see, parts of Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and we'll be spending a week near Franklin, Tennessee. Actually, we're doing a vacation, a family vacation with all of our kids and all of our grandkids. And we'll be in the Franklin, Tennessee area, and that's going to be pretty fun. We'll be there a week. If you have some stories that we should do while we're down there, we'll let us know. Send us some suggestions. We'll check it out on the way back. We probably won't do it during the week of the vacation. We're going to actually try and take a real vacation.
If I can keep you from working.
Well, we're trying to work real hard. We've got a couple of podcast interviews we did today, and maybe one or two more we'll do this week. We'll be ahead on our podcast interviews. We got our video schedule ready to go, so we're kind of working on that. Hey, do us a favor. We have, at this time of the program, we always like to say, give us a thumbs up. Google somehow likes it when people give thumbs up, and hopefully you've seen enough to like it. So give us a thumbs up, and that'll help get this channel out in front of more people. And while you're doing that, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, would you please do so? Just subscribe. There's a little icon, a little bell icon when you subscribe. If you click that, you'll get a little email whenever we go live. And that's always fun to see. When we go live, you'll get a heads up on it. Because sometimes we just go live in the middle of the week. So let us know. We would love to see that. Let's see. Com Shop Center. Enjoyed your part 1 and part 2 of your trip through the Adirondacks. Thank you. Those 2 videos are up here in the channel. That was one of the nicest trips we had. And I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was awesome, wasn't it?
It was worth doing.
Yeah.
And it certainly shows that not everything always goes perfect.
Oh, you know about the rain?
And the
bugs.
Yeah,
the bugs.
But still worth doing.
Yeah, it was a great time. And we went to the Adirondacks because we're researching it for one of our 7-day adventure guides. We're trying to cover every part of the country. And we'll have that out in about a month or so. And we thought we'd just go in and out, but we ended up staying longer than we thought because every place we went was just some amazing thing to go see. So we enjoyed it. And you'll see a little bit more of it in our Harvest Host videos, because we stayed at a Harvest Host near the Finger Lake area, and we stayed at a Harvest Host coming back towards Michigan in Pennsylvania that we'll be showing you, and they were pretty fun. And that's coming out Thursday. Kathleen Reyes, hi Mike and Jennifer, Athens, Georgia. I hear and see it loud and clear. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like the feed is going well. I did some changes on this, the way we're accessing the internet here. We're always tweaking around with it, but if you saw the video I did a few weeks ago about our online system here, the redundant thing using this WineGuard Connect 2 up on the roof, I switched that out from AT&T to Verizon, and that's just a matter of climbing up there and putting in a new SIM card from Verizon. And man, what a difference. So much better coverage, and I'm really delighted with that. In fact, I'm thinking about getting rid of the cell phone booster. I'm not sure I even need the cell phone booster. Does anybody know how to get adhesive off a roof? Because if you saw that thing, I had to put it. Yeah,
the glue off.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure that out, how to get that adhesive off. Because it sticks up the antenna. I know I hit it yesterday on a tree when we were driving. But anyway, this WineGuard thing, I went with the Verizon system, and that really is doing a nice job.
You know what's hard about sitting here? Our dog is like a kid. He's out there chewing on a rock, and I'm thinking about his teeth.
Well,
let him break a tooth.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't be a helicopter parent to a dog. I live in Texas, looking at this Wonder and Unity leisure travel van motorhomes, but concerned about the maintenance cost on Mercedes. Heard Ford was cheaper to maintain, so loved your tour of leisure vans. Well, yeah, I'm taking this unit into a Mercedes dealer tomorrow for its 10,000-mile tune-up. And there's no doubt Mercedes charges you more for an oil change. But let me ask you this. If you're spending $150,000 or $130,000, whatever a new unit costs, are you going to really quibble over spending maybe $100 more for Mercedes service versus Ford service? I mean, if that is an issue for you, I don't know. Yes, the Wonder is serviced by Ford, so on the Ford Transit chassis, so it'll do a wonderful job for you. And we liked the Wonder. We thought it was great.
And you have more options when you have a Ford, because there's more places that can service it.
There's a Ford dealer in every town, right?
Usually.
So I mean, if that's a real big issue, then go with the Wonder or the Ford Transit.
Maybe they should get a list, call up wherever they would be taking theirs for service, and find out what everything costs. You know, whatever the standard things that need to be done. And you know the Ford is going to be cheaper to service.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And, you know, another factor that would maybe tilt it towards the Ford, I mean, if you're happy with both units and it's a matter of that, I'd say look at the Wonder. Another factor that would tilt it towards the Ford is that many times most Mercedes dealerships don't service Sprinters. They service Mercedes cars, but they don't have enough room in their service shop and enough hoist to really service a Sprinter. So, for example, here in where we live in the greater Detroit area, there are 3 Mercedes dealers, 2 of which service Sprinters. One about 50 miles in the far western suburbs, and one about 50 miles north of Detroit in the northern suburbs.
And
that's the one I'm going tomorrow.
The one in our neighborhood.
They don't service Sprinters. We don't do trucks, they said. Come on. But that is a factor if you're out on the road someplace. We've had breakdowns in the Sprinter in Montana. Not this one, but a road truck version we had a few years ago. Actually, twice in Montana. And they were great. We got it serviced in Missoula. And I think was it Bozeman? I don't remember. But they serviced it, but we had to drive there in limp hole mode at one point.
And they were wonderful.
They were wonderful. They do a great job in service. They cost more, and there's not as many service places. So let me just tell you that stuff. But if it's, I have no problem. Obviously, we love the Sprinter. This one that we bought. We bought this Unity is a Sprinter. And tomorrow it goes in for my 10,000 miles. So I'm a little under that, but I'm going to get it done because we're doing a lot of traveling. So I'll let you know how the expenses for that go. But I know, oil changes cost a couple $100 with these things, and that's being generous. Sandra says that,
Being conservative?
Being conservative. Sandra says it's working on her iPad. It's black on her TV. Well, then that tells us, Sandra, that's a problem with your TV. If you're getting it on one, you should get it on both. Wimberley, Texas, are you still using Blue Stream to monitor the temperature in your RV? No, we moved away from that. I don't know, last year we went with something called, I hope I can remember the name of it, RV Pet Safety. I believe there's a link to it in somewhere somewhere on the blog if you go to RVlifestyle.com. And it works through to your cell phone, and it'll give you an alert when the temperature gets too much. It actually works on cell phone service, so we use that. I would not recommend the Blue Stream after using RV Pet Safety. I don't have the link for it, so I can't give it to you off the top of my hands. If you email me privately, I'll send it to you. But it does a great job. You have to pay a subscription fee. Everybody charges a subscription fee, but if you're concerned about that, that's the best one that we have found at this point. So that's good. All right, we had somebody from the UK a little while ago. Mark joins us from Australia. Hey, mate, how are you? Good to have you with us. It's got to be really early in the morning or late at night over there. I think it's early in the morning. So that's good. Lots of people checking in saying that they're getting us just fine. So it's fine. Joyce is in Illinois. Thanks for sending me the Utah guide when I ordered the boondocking guide. They look great. I'm glad you took advantage of that. That's the best special we've had on it. So that's good. I hope you get a chance to get out to Utah and follow our suggestions. That was fun, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Road Trip Buddy says hi to Bo.
He's still out there chewing on something he shouldn't be chewing on.
He is. Hey, somebody sent us a super chat. Let's see if I can find it. And this is from Bradley Phillips. And Bradley, if I can find it here, I'll bring it up on screen. Let's see. I have to scroll down because this thing is not. Super chats are interesting. Basically, it's a little service that Google makes that will put you to the top of the line. And here's Bradley. Super chat. Woohoo! He says, any word on Road Trek being bought, really wanting one when you were driving one. I really enjoy watching your videos, learn a lot. Well, thank you very much, Bradley. Well, yes, Road Trek, the purchase went through last week. The Road Trek brand is now owned by Rapido, which is the group, French-based group that makes the Westphalia motorhome, little Class B. There used to be a lot of them in the U.S., and now they're basically just in Europe. So Road Trek has been bought by Rapido. They have announced that they're going to spend the next month or so moving the stuff they need out of the old factories into consolidating them all in a factory they have in Cambridge, Ontario. And then all of the other stuff is being sold at auction over the next week. So that's being done. And they hope to have production started by fall. And that will be kind of interesting to see. That will be very exciting. So they are sold. They hope to restart. They hope to make, they've got a lot of, when they shut down, when Road Trek shut down, they had a lot of units in process of being built. So they're going to finish those. And
the warranties, that's the interesting thing.
Well, they said they were going to honor them for 2 years. However, they had a big scandal. They found out a couple of weeks ago that something like 1,500 Road Treks that were sold last year didn't meet some safety requirement, and so they said they were not going to honor the warranties on those. You'll have to check with Road Trek on that to find out. But the good news is that the brand will continue, and they hope to have new stuff. They actually hope to show some product at the Elkhart Open House, which is not a public event. It's for RV industry only. We'll be there, so we'll kind of hopefully show you what they have. And I'm hoping I can do an interview with somebody from Rapido. We'll see if we can get somebody on when they get there a little closer to production. But the good news is the brand will continue, and hopefully they will continue making the same models. That's all we know at this point. All right, Tom says, video looks good in Eugene, Oregon. Chico, California checks in from John. Tom McAllister, our friend Tom, are you sitting in your Unity LTV FX? We are indeed.
Excuse me.
We are indeed sitting in it, and got the slide out, which is right there. Behind us is the Murphy bed. Did our first boondock trip to the Cascade Summit this weekend, said Tom Sanborn. Jennifer's going to get a drink of water and a cough. Hello from the earthquake line, says David Guerin in Pine, California. Now she's going out to get Bo. I don't know if he's going to come in or not.
Take that. Whatever you got away from.
All right. Ray Jones is checking in from Indianapolis, Indiana. Diane and Dennis is from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Why did you get your Unity from La Mesa instead of a local dealer? I don't have a local dealer. There's one across the state. And I got a really good deal at La Mesa. We shopped around a little bit, and that was the one we went with. So we had a really good deal. You should do the same thing whenever you buy. Try and find a place that'll give you the best deal. You know, it's a matter of supply. We actually took possession of this in Salt Lake City, and they let us, the Leisure Travel folks let us borrow a dealer place so we could get it to Albuquerque, which is where we ended up buying it. That was the closest dealership, I think, in Salt Lake City. This unit was a display unit at an RV show that they had there. And the reason we got this was it's on the 2019 Mercedes chassis, and we really wanted to have that for this year as we went out. So, but I advise everybody to do that. You know, you can check stuff up online and see if you can find the unit that you want in stock from someplace and see what you can do. Richard is in Ontario, Canada. Thanks for all your tips and knowledge. Jane returned to Indiana today, and they're proud, she says, to live in the Dunes area, right on the Michigan-Indiana border. Amarillo, Texas, where the wind never stops blowing. How you doing, Jane? Thank you for checking in. Bradley Phillips says, what happened to Road Truck? Did somebody buy them yet? Just answered that question, Brad, and yeah, I guess it was from you, actually, because you did. Then you re-asked it as a super chat. You ever been in Branson, Mo? Yes, we have. Was actually at a Road Trek rally. Remember that, Jennifer?
Oh, it was so much fun.
It was the 40th anniversary.
I'd like to go back to Branson. I love all the shows.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's a neat area. Mm-hmm. Lots of shows. Pretty area. The northern end, I guess, of the Ozarks, and that was kind of fun. So that's good. Sarah says, hi, Wendlands. Greeting from Lexington, Kentucky. We'll be passing by you. We'll honk the horn as we drive by this week. Migama is in India. Hello. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us in India. So we've got Australia, the UK, and India with us tonight. RV Quilt Quest says, good to see us happy and well.
It's good to be happy and well.
It is. There's our friend Mark Hopkins. Wouldn't be a complete Sunday night if we didn't hear from Mark and Hitch. And they're on their way. Oh, lucky guy, Mark, to the Maritimes in Newfoundland. We have been Alaska, the Maritimes. The Maritimes, Alaska. We keep going back and forth. And right now,
Mark's going to have seen it all, so he can tell us.
Yeah, Mark, you see it all, let us know. But we're looking at next year. Irma Sunico Buno, love your tips and trips. It's really a big help having the suspension added to your RV. Is it? Yeah. Well, you just said something about that last night on all those bumpy roads.
Yeah, we were on a whole bunch of dirt roads, and you were slowing down so we didn't jar the unit apart.
Or I didn't want to kick up stones and scratch.
Yeah. And I said, man.
Suspension.
Yeah,
there's not a lot you can do to these except add VB air suspension, and that is a lot of money. It's about $8,000 to add it, and that's getting a pretty good deal. $7,000 to $8,000 is the lowest I've seen on a Class B. It does make a major difference, and if you plan to have people riding in the back of your Class B, Class C while you're driving down the road, you know, I would consider making that investment. It's really costly, but if you're going to keep it for a long time and you're going to have people riding back there, I know in our Class B you would go take a nap, and I would look in the rearview mirror and you would levitate.
Well, that was in the 4x4.
In the 4x4. That was terrible suspension. Yeah.
Yeah, I would put pillows and lay on top of pillows.
Now in this unit, we don't have anybody riding in the back because there are no seat belts back there, which is the one of the bigger faults that we find with this 2019
it's just
Unity FX. There's
we
no
have a
seat
need.
There's
We'd
only
like
2
more
seat
seat
belts.
belts.
We would.
I'd like to put Bo on a seat with a seat belt.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good. How often do you ride your bikes when you camp? Is it a challenge to keep them charged? No, it's not. It's just a matter of plugging them in, at the campsite or through the inverter here in the RV. They charge up fairly quick, so it's not hard. And you go 20 to 40 miles on a charge. We don't ride them as much as we'd like, probably, because we have Bo with us. And in the summertime, it gets a little challenging because of air conditioning. And we worry about leaving him behind in this unit, and it's too hot. Without boring you with a lot of details, many of you know we upgraded to 2 lithium batteries and a 1500 watt inverter, and that is not enough to run the air conditioner. And we've been toying around with the idea of adding 2 to 3 more lithium batteries and a higher powered inverter, 2 to 3,000 watt inverter, which would then allow us to be able to run the AC on battery power for several hours. And usually it's about an hour of battery. If you have a 100 amp lithium battery, you can usually run that for about an hour. It depends on how much it's cycling on and off. So 4 or 5 would give us enough assurance to go out and use it.
And we have a Norwegian elk hound, so he is made for cold weather.
Yeah.
And he's young and he's very active, and he wants to go with us.
But
and I'm not going to ride a bike with him.
Yep.
Hanging on him.
so long story short, we ride the bike more in the fall and in the spring when we don't have to worry about leaving Bo in the RV, because it's fun to go together. It's not fun to go separately. We like to do that. Greetings from Maryland. Video looks great from our end. New Unity twin bed model arrives mid-August.
Ooh.
Any 2019 chassis issues to share? None. I mean, none. I'm taking it in for, like, say, the 10,000 mile service tomorrow. Up in Grand Blanc, Michigan, but I don't think I have no issues at all. Maybe the navigation system, we joke because we didn't realize how many times we say the word Mercedes.
Or a word similar to Mercedes.
Yeah. And
she is eager to please.
Yeah, she is. She just, may I help you? It's quiet, But that happens all the time, and it's a great nav system. It's a beautiful display. We like it. It has satellite. The radio system, the sound system is really good. I love the steering. It's so easy. If you look at some of our videos, you can see from our different cameras driving it and how easy it handles. So, congratulations on your Unity twin bed model. You'll love it. How's the Unity? I'm looking at buying my first RV and heard that maintaining a Mercedes engine. I don't understand
had that one
this.
before.
Somebody just answered that.
Oh, we just had that question.
I think what happens is you guys write a question, and if I don't get to it,
then
you ask it again, and so I'm coming back. So we did answer that just a little early. We're wanting to do our first BLM camping trip. Do you have a favorite spot in the Colorado mountains? Wow, where to start? I think right outside Telluride, Colorado, there are 3 little national park campgrounds, and we stayed. I can't remember which one we stayed. All 3 are delightful. Those are not BLM; they're national park campgrounds. So I can't come up with the BLM one, but look at the national park campgrounds. We stayed in a couple of a really nice one right outside Telluride. That's the one that comes to mind. And there's a really nice hike right around there too that we had it. William says. Hi from Albuquerque. Next week we'll be heading out to Monument Valley in Moab. Boy, it's hot out there now. And Durango, thanks for the videos. They're very helpful. Thank you very much for encouraging us for all of that stuff. We love hearing it. Gugon, I have some right here. So I'm going to try that. If I take that RF amplifier, or that little amplifier up there off, and we'll see it. Hey, Bob Zagami. Hi, Bob. Bob and I have been talking by email this week. Bob's about ready to head. I think you're going to Colorado, Bob, and he's testing out the Winnebago Bolt, the new model, which is a really neat unit. I'll be anxious to see what you think of it, Bob. That's great. George checks in from Georgia, I bet. No, it just says hello from George. I don't know where you are, George, but hi. Jane and Nick checked in, cooking in Phoenix, planning to get a B or a C, and appreciate all your advice and positivity. You know, we've had about 4 or 5 people this week say that they appreciate being positive.
Good.
Even when things go by.
Go bad.
Go bad. Yeah, go by. Go bad. Are you still going to Alaska from other YouTubers? Verizon, I guess so. Not this year, we're not going. As I said earlier, we're debating next year whether we go to Alaska or the Maritimes.
And we've been to Alaska twice.
We've been there twice.
We took a cruise there once for work.
And we
had a business trip.
And we flew in once, but we sandwiched some exploring
free time in with work.
Yep.
So it's not like we've never been there.
Desiree, do you live in your RV full time? Seems like it, but no, we don't. We are 3/4 timers probably. We've been home from the Adirondacks almost 2 weeks, and I have used that time to try and edit videos and create content so we can not have to stop at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and work all afternoon. I've kind of gotten on a treadmill with creating content, and I don't know what the solution is. Do you?
No, I don't know.
I mean, tomorrow's the newsletter. We'll sign off here. We got to go finish up the newsletter that you all get. Many of you get. Almost 70,000 get that every Monday morning now. Can you believe that?
No.
And so I finished that. And then tomorrow I have to do an NBC story on PC Mike. And then Tuesday we record the podcast. Wednesday we final edit the video that comes out on Thursday. And then we start researching and writing for the blog. And it's just like, we kept thinking,
all good.
It's all good, but so can you hire somebody to do that, help out? And you really can't, because they don't have the background. They don't know what shots are. By the time you give them instructions on how to help edit, you might as well do it yourself, because they don't have any context. So we're getting kind of tired.
You're getting tired.
I'm getting tired. Yeah.
You're the worker.
Yeah. Gosh, I sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. I love doing this stuff. But anyway, that's why we come home. And so I get kind of locked up in a little studio, and we try and get as much of this done. This time we're trying to get a couple weeks done so we can take off this week and be able to really enjoy our travel.
And I've been trimming bushes, and I managed to cut 2 electric cords yesterday.
She cut the cord twice.
Yeah. Maybe we need to hire somebody to do that.
Yeah. Now, Bev is saying Verizon coverage is not good in Alaska, but AT&T is. I've heard that. Actually, I heard it from Verizon, because Verizon used to be one of our sponsors. And I said, we're thinking about going to Alaska. And they said, oh, we don't have a really good signal there. And they were saying, well, they didn't care if we were going to Alaska or not. So they probably have not fixed that. So that's interesting. I did not know that. Thank you, Bev, for sharing that with us. How long have you been on the road at one time? A couple of months, 8 weeks maybe. B.E. Grant, I'm looking in full-time living in a RV by the winter. I'm going to buy a 2019 Dodge Ram 5500, but my roadblock is either to buy a truck camper or a fifth-wheel camper. Any suggestions? Well, they both have their pros and cons, obviously. Truck campers are really fun. They are a little trickier to take on and off and put back on the truck bed. Fifth wheels are a little easier to do that. Both of them are the truck camper, you could technically just leave it on the bed and take off and drive around, whereas the trailer you're going to leave in one location. If you plan to sit and stay in one spot a long time, I'd say the fifth wheel would probably give you more room. But if you maybe a day or two and then you move to another spot, sometimes we'll do that. We'll go just a few miles down the road, but we'll go to different spots. Then it's much easier if you leave your truck camper on, or if you have a motorhome. So your advice is always to rent one.
Yeah, rent and try.
Rent and try one and see what you can do. And that's the best thing.
But I think your advice, how long are you going to stay in one spot?
Yeah.
And the ease and taking that truck camper off, putting it back on versus the fifth wheel.
Which you still got to take it on and off.
Yeah.
It's a little trickier to back up, But once you get used to it, it's not so bad. You didn't say how big of a fifth wheel, but they're usually pretty good size. Michael Stanley notes that he's looking. No, there we go. Michael Stanley. We're talking about servicing Mercedes up in St. Clair Shores. That's the fourth Mercedes dealership here in Michigan. They stopped servicing Sprinters. It says Freightliner continues to continue some of them.
Yeah, you used to go there.
I did. Yep. So there are places to do it, but like I said, there's no getting around the fact they charge you because it's a Mercedes. They charge you ridiculously much more money than you would at a Ford dealer or a Chevy dealer. We replaced the alternator on our Sprinter, cost $1,100 in Australia. Well, things break. What's our friend Dean from Leisure Travel Van say?
He said somebody told him that when you're in your rig driving down the road, it's like a 4.2 earthquake. I mean, everything's shaking and bouncing, and
yeah,
a lot of the roads are bad.
Yeah. Richard, do you recommend topping off the DEF on the Sprinter every time you can from the truck stop, or letting it go down a ways? I'd let it go down a ways. Now, one of the nice things about the 2019 is they actually have a DEF gauge on it, the Sprinter chassis.
That is very nice.
Yeah, it takes a while because I keep looking at it, and for the longest time I thought that was the gas gauge because the fuel gauge is over to the left a little bit, the diesel gauge. But they have a DEF gauge, and I'm aware of how fast it goes down. I'm about half right now, and I've already put 2.5 gallons in. I did that on a trip about a month ago. So I will have it topped off tomorrow when I do service. But normally you'll get a warning light that says, hey, it's getting low. Most truck stops now, many of them have a pump right next to the fuel pump where you can top it off with DEF. And of course, all gas stations, fuel stops you can buy a 2.5 gallon jug of it as well. That's something else I usually also carry, is a spare jug of DEF. I'm not so much worried about it with this one because, like I said, I have a gauge and I can see how much I have. So I don't have an extra one
In
now.
the old days, you just kind of had to remember.
It always hit me in the middle of the night at 10 o'clock at night. I'm driving down the middle of nowhere and DEF is gone, is empty. So having that gauge is nice. So I don't have to carry the spare, but I used to all the time, and that was something. We have a 2014 Sprinter Van Era from Winnebago. I just got my $20,000 service, and it did cost me $1,300. I think that's the big one, probably where you had to replace a lot of stuff. Hey, there's no mistake. There's no doubting, motorhomes cost money. RVs, they're not quite as bad as a boat, but things break and wear out, and you gotta have an understanding on it. Well, there's a great question. What is your favorite RV? Well, usually it's the one we're in now because it's ours. This one is ours, or it's actually the bank's, but we give the bank a whole bunch of money every month, so they let us drive it. That's a tough question. We like a lot of them. There are many different brands. I mean, I'm trying to think of one I don't like, and I don't know if I would want to say it, but I can't even come up with one of those.
I would not even say what you didn't quite like as much, because what one person likes, another person wouldn't necessarily like.
I mean, I'm thinking I can't even think of a brand that I would not recommend.
We go to these shows, and it's so much fun.
We do. And
looking at all the different RVs, how they configure them, and when you can pick out what you want and customize it to you a little bit, tweak it.
That's what makes it your favorite, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, in general, if you're talking about B and C, Pleasureway, Leisure Travel Van, Winnebago Era, really like those. The Winnebago Travato is a really nice Class B. Top of the line is Advanced RV. They only make about 18 of these a year, but they are hands down the best Class B on the road today is from Advanced RV. What else? Coachman. We really like Coachman Class Bs, particularly the Galleria. That's one we like. And,
I got to get after him again because I know what he's doing. Sorry.
Oh, okay. He's chewing stuff he shouldn't chew.
No, it's a bone. I don't want him to.
Yeah, he's chewing a bone, and we worry about it splintering. They get it down, and you don't want it to splinter. So Jennifer will be right back. Hey, our pals, Jim and Chris, the Geeks on Tour, are in. Good to see you guys. Hope all is well with you guys. How's the diving? They're big time scuba divers. Every time I look, they're 20 feet under, 40 feet under, smiling and looking happy, chasing lobsters around the Florida Keys. Hope to see you guys on the road here sometime this year. Paul checks in. Do you use the desk underneath the rear lounge? I'm using it right now. Let me show you. There it is. See it right here? This is it. This is it. I'm actually using it to hold the computer, and yeah, it's a really nice desk. It pops up. It's like comes up about that high, and it's on wheels. You can move it all around. You can also use it as a ottoman if you would like it as an ottoman, and so yeah, we do use that, and I'm using it as we speak right now. Vancouver Island is where Keith Blake is. I don't know where Jennifer went. I think she's taking the dog in. Have you heard how... Oh, there's another one. I didn't talk about the Airstream. Have you heard how the Airstream class... I'm not sure what that means. But, yes, Airstream makes a beautiful unit. They're a little pricey, the Airstream Interstate. The Airstream Atlas, which is their B+, which is extremely expensive, but extremely nice. Airstream makes a beautiful model. Coming this fall, Thor Motorhome is introducing a whole new line of Class B motorhomes, camper vans. Did you lock up our beast?
No, he's running around. I just had to take that away from him. I am the wicked stepmother.
Well, better you. So he likes me best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
for
why.
For good reason.
Yeah, because I'm a lot more fun, right?
Right.
That's so funny. So anyway, Airstreams. Yeah, we like Airstreams. Somebody asked us.
Mm-hmm.
They are very nice. And as I said, Thor Motorhome is about to release a whole line of Class Bs, and those will be coming out over the fall. And I'm sure we'll be telling you about them. Scottsdale, Arizona, the Brassfields. Hey, Chad, Joseph, how are you guys? We love hearing from you guys. I think these are the guys who Grandma bought the RVs. If that's right, Chad, let me know. Grandma brought your RV, bought a bunch of RVs for you and your brother and her, and I think she was buying a fourth one. And we're supposed to hook up with you guys in Disney World in November, so I want to know when you're going so we can make sure we can go back. And everybody wants us to do a follow-up when you get possession of your units. Can the Unity be bought and picked up at the factory? No, they're in Canada. Then you'd have problems with customs coming across, and they don't. You got to buy it through a dealer. Mike says, great to see you guys. Checking in from Kentucky. We'll be going through Kentucky Friday night sometime Friday. Aloha from Honolulu. So we got India, the UK, Australia, and Hawaii. So we got you guys and everybody all across the country. Enjoy the buying tips and 7-day trip ebooks. Thank you, Drew. I mentioned this at the top, but I know a lot of you just came on, and I wanted to make sure everybody knows about this, that we do have a special that expires tonight. It was our 4th of July special. If you buy our How to Buy an RV guide with all these inside tips and lots of advice and stuff that'll help save you a lot of money in buying an RV and getting insurance, all that stuff, or buy our guide to boondocking for beginning boondockers in particular. If you buy either one of those, we also will throw in free your choice of one of our 7-day adventure guides to either the UP of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Southern Utah, Colorado, or Yellowstone National Park. And they tell you where to go. Plus, I think we also throw in a sticker bundle of our 330 Rules stickers, which are kind of fun. So that's how you get them up there, rvlifestyle.com/books. And that deal expires at midnight tonight. So so thank you, Brew, and hope you enjoy it, your books. Appreciate knowing that. Let's see. Donald says, do you have recommendations for an alarm system? We don't. I shouldn't say that. Yes, we actually do have a great alarm system, don't we?
Bo?
Yeah.
He likes to bark.
Yeah, we do.
Elcons were made to bark.
Now where are you going?
Well, he wants in.
He wants in where?
In the rig.
He wants in the RV? Oh, yeah. We shot a couple of stand-ups yesterday. As we were driving, and I've got an over-the-shoulder camera. And he was like, he gets right between us, and I'm trying to talk, and there's this paw that keeps coming up, and he's got, as I said, he's got claws on those paws, and he's like, you know, he wants attention. Anyway, that'll be in the video that comes out Thursday, and you'll see him. But it's for an alarm system. She's giving him a drink of water. Let me see. Everybody wants to see you, Bo. Say hi. Where's Bo?
Well, Bo is right.
Hey, Bo, look. I don't know if you... There's Bo. See how spoiled this dog is? I don't know if you can see that. You know. He has to get in every shot we do as well. When he hears us talking, he comes running. Alarm system. He's our alarm system. He's a pretty good alarm. He barks very well. But I don't have an alarm system on this. It's, you know, we were broken into once, and it was in a broad daylight in a shopping center. That was not in this unit, but that was in a previous one about 4 or 5 years ago. So, you know, I do have insurance, and I don't have an alarm system. They tend to run down your battery, and I've not found a really good solution for it, and we just have not decided to go that way. So that's where we're going. All right, let's see. Here's the question. Hope you return soon to the West Coast with Bo. Yeah, we do too. It's hard when you realize that you want to be everywhere, and it's 3,000 miles across. That's a lot of driving.
So we give you a lot of the middle of the country.
Yeah, and we tend to go north and south. We always do a couple of big trips to the west. There's my alarm system. Yeah, see what I mean?
Neighbors are walking their dog past the house.
Neighbors are walking the dogs. Yeah. So, but we do. We'll be out there, I think, in October for a little while for the California RV show. We're usually out there for that. We're in Hershey, Pennsylvania for the big Hershey RV show. We go to RV dealer open house in Elkhart, Indiana, and we usually go to the Tampa RV show. And we've cut back on a lot of the RV shows, so we're doing like 4 a year, and I think that's all we're going to try and do, because they, you know, it's a pretty.
It chops up your seasons.
It did. Like last year, we either had an RV show or a gathering that we hosted every single month, so we really couldn't make any extended trips anywhere. And this year has been kind of nice. Like we couldn't have done the Adirondacks, which, you know, was I think 3 weeks, because we would have had to be somewhere else. So we're trying to do more of that. And we're trying to do more meet and greets along the way. I don't know if we'll do anything while we're in Texas or not, but
Nashville
or next. I said Texas. It's all one big country. Yeah. Hey guys, loved your Letchworth video, Letchworth State Park in New York.
That is a beautiful park.
Nice to see a state park with hookups. The place looks great too. It's a beautiful park, and a couple of things, like you notice the recycle effort that they have there.
Yes, and the area that everybody who has dogs is in one area, and then people who don't have dogs, you don't have any dogs in your loop.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't like dogs, you don't have to see them.
Yeah. Wondering how long you can boondock with no hookups. A week. You know, the biggest limiting factor is you run out of food in the refrigerator. Do you run out of water, fresh water? And normally a week is when you got to get more water and empty the black tanks. And if you got to be a little careful in management, but usually a week or so. We tend not to be that long. We tend to be a couple, 3 nights. Our style of camping in boondocking is we move from place to place. Sometimes you might find 3 great boondocking spots all within 10 miles of each other, but it's kind of fun to hit a different spot. So that's pretty good. You can add a sway bar, sumo bump stops, and fox shots that'll improve the ride. You can. I didn't find a big deal with we've tried out the sumo, and all the rest of that stuff is good. But if you really want to improve it, you got to get VB air suspension. That's the standard. That takes care of everything. All the rest, you know, by the time you add all those things that Tom's talking about there, you might as well just add get the sumo springs. That's, or not the sumo, the VB air suspension system. Janice ordered my Unity in May 2018. Decided to wait for the 2019 Mr. Rogers. My Unity coming end of the month. That's Yay. Your name. That's Yay. You're gonna name it, Mr. Awesome. Rogers. She's going to name it Mr. Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice day in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood?
Do you hear Bo?
I hear Bo.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Well, I guess we could yell, be quiet.
Hey, Bo, be quiet!
He knows quiet.
He does. Yep.
But he doesn't always listen. But
yeah. Kathleen, I visited a dealership in Norcross, Georgia yesterday. They have 2 Road Treks in stock, and they said no warranty. They were very nice units with a big discount, but it's a little scary to spend $80,000 with no coverage. I wouldn't do it, Kathleen. I wouldn't do it. Check with Sunshine State RVs down in Gainesville, Florida. They're one of our podcast sponsors. I know he had obtained warranty coverage for the Road Treks he was selling. He may have sold all of his. I don't know. Many of the dealers sold their existing stock at great price, and they bought extended warranties for it. If these are really great prices, you can consider an extended warranty. But here's the deal. I mentioned earlier, and I don't have the exact data in front of me, but just in the last month or so, it was revealed that Road Trek sold hundreds of units over the last year or so with some safety violations. And because of that, the new buyer, Rapido, is not going to extend the warranty or he's going to limit the warranty very much to those units. So you need to get some clarity on that. $80,000 for a Road Trek, is a brand new one, is a pretty good deal. But with no warranty.
You wonder what model she's looking at.
Yeah, I don't know what you're looking at. Maybe I'm kind of betting a 190 or an Agile maybe, or I don't know. But I would be, I mean, if they don't offer, if a dealer won't give you a warranty to buy one, that speaks volumes. So I would look elsewhere. Go look at the Travato. The Travato, I think, is probably a better model right now. It's just a really nice unit. Look at the 59 Travato. You don't even need lithium on it, and they're doing a really good job with those. So without a warranty, I would. That's just me. So others may disagree. You wouldn't let me buy one without a warranty, I don't think.
They have to have some kind of warranty, don't they?
Yeah. How did you know that RVing was what you wanted to do?
Because we wanted to travel and see the country. We wanted to go places and see things. And also, once you spend a lot of time in a lot of hotel rooms, you want an RV where your things are all together. Our kids don't like it because when we go to their houses, we like to sleep in our RV in their driveway, and they want us to come into their house because they don't want the neighbors to say, look at their parents. They're aging parents are sleeping outside. At least we're not putting a pup tent out in the front yard or something.
Hey, that's an idea.
Yeah. But you just want to see the country, and it's nice having all your things in one spot, easy to get to.
I mean, even now, we went to church this morning. I had to come out to the RV to get, my dress. I haven't worn slacks or long pants because it's summertime. I had to come out to the RV to get my stuff because I have it all out here. I've got everything that we keep. We keep it out here because we're not in it 3/4 of the time. So all of our stuff is here.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? You've given up ties. You got one pair of long pants. Is that what you're doing?
No, I got more than that.
Okay.
But I don't need to have. I mean, if I wear them like once a week to go to church, that's it. I don't need. Anyway, like Jennifer said, we did a lot of traveling. We've done TV all over the world, and staying in hotel rooms. They're moldy, they're stinky, they have bed bugs. Some friends of mine that we met from the Weather Channel. Those guys are on the road all the time. And where did we run into them? Oh, at covering Groundhog Day. Mm-hmm. And they had all just come back from covering some winter storm.
And don't say the brand. I don't say the hotel chain.
I won't. And they had been in the Midwest covering a big winter snowstorm. And they stayed at a big name hotel. And they all got bed bugs. And I thought to myself, no. I know another guy who got bed bugs, and he had to disinfect his house, and that's why they bought an RV. That's why they bought an RV. Because they tended to travel around, and they did craft shows and stuff like that, and they were always staying in hotels. So you don't have to worry about bed bugs, but you really get to. But when you're outside, we have small house, big yard. That's that's where we live.
And
is out
once
there.
you have one of these little RVs, it's very, very hard to give it up because you bring your food, you bring your lunch, your dinner, you bring some things you want to eat. You can lay down and take a nap. You get tired, you say, okay, nap time. Get in a traffic jam. Okay, we're just going to go take a nap.
And we do. We do this
Yes, we
all
do.
the time.
Okay, Yellowstone, it was lined up to use the bathroom. We had our own bathroom
We
with
actually,
us.
yeah, we had changed our clothes because it got really warm that day, and
Yeah.
we,
I
yeah.
mean, once you have one of these, you don't want to give it up.
We're doing interviews for the podcast. I'm trying to get a bunch of them ahead, and we've been interviewing. We've been doing this now. It'll be 8 years this coming March that we've been on the road doing these. And when we started, there were one or two other couples, the Huggins, and they've since retired, and I think the Winds, and they moved to a sailboat, and that was about it. There might have been a couple others, but we were like the first of the big RV couples after that. After the Huggins, they're kind of like the legends in the business. But so now there are dozens and dozens. We call them the RV couples, and most of them are millennials or young people, much younger than us.
And it's getting easy these days.
It's getting really easy. I was interviewing one of the couples today for the podcast, and I said, I think we're just going to call ourselves the grandparents for all the couples. And she said, oh, but I don't know. So we've wanted to do that, and we talk sometimes, how long do we want to keep doing this? And I think until...
As long as we're able.
As long as we're able, because this is just a great life, and you see so much, and you meet so many people who are good friends.
And if you can afford it, get a used small unit when your kids are traveling around playing baseball and football and all these different things, and you've got to sit and wait for them, and man,
yeah,
it's you get so spoiled.
Bertina says, why is the Mercedes chassis so good? Well, they changed it a lot, and they've added steer-by-wire steering, power steering. They made the transmission, I think, is a 7-speed instead of 5-speed now. They have a whole new dashboard, a new nav system. If you look here in the channel, I've got a video on the 2019 Mercedes Sprinter chassis, and go look at that. We go through everything in that video, and you can see it there. After the 10K service, does the 2019 go to 20K service? I believe so. I believe so. Maybe it's every 10. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. Edward finally was able to get on now in Eagle Lake near Moscow, Pennsylvania. Glad to have you with us, Edward. Sarah, with your bigger RV, do you feel the need to stay in a hotel every once in a while?
No.
No, we don't.
No, and I like to exercise, and with our Anytime Fitness membership, you got your Anytime, you're stripped down here. Gonna show off your 6-pack abs or something? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, Anytime Fitness. You're the little walking billboard. Okay.
Yeah, we are members of Anytime Fitness, and that's where we go to work.
So we can boondock, and then we can go work out and shower.
Here's the deal, too. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to do it anyway. Anytime Fitness, right? That means they're open 24/7.
Right.
So if you go to their parking lot,
I don't think so.
You can.
I think the local police will be telling you to move on.
I don't think so.
Well,
if I set up camp chairs and stuff, but no.
I'm still betting.
Anyway,
they're going to do patrols. They're going to.
We've got a video coming on Anytime Fitness and how we use it.
Like Cabela's and Walmart's and places.
There's plenty of places. Cracker Barrel.
You can stay.
They call that now crack docking. Crack docking.
I love Cracker Barrel.
I do too.
No, they're nice and quiet.
And you get a really nice breakfast waiting for you in the morning. You wake up to smell of bacon. And the garbage trucks backing out. Yeah. But we don't stay in a hotel. When we first started with the B, let's just admit it, they're crowded. And about every third or fourth day on the road, we would usually stay in a hotel. We did the first year or two. And now, when's the last time we stayed in a hotel?
It's been a while. I'm kind of sick of hotels.
Yeah. Jennifer said earlier why we love RVing. All of our stuff is in here. So if you stay at a hotel, you got to carry it all off. And
no matter how hard we try, we're going back and forth a couple times.
She has this bag. You know what
I call it the world's heaviest bag.
It is the world's heaviest bag. So she'll say, did you get the world's heaviest bag? That is all you can carry. I mean, she's got...
And my children have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Can you get the world's heaviest bag?
Let's get Mom's world's heaviest bag. That's the name of it. But you got to carry all that stuff in. Our computers, my camera gear. In here, I've got batteries always being charged, my drones being charged, all that stuff. I mean, it's all laid out just right. We've got, the hardest thing about an RV that we want to impress on newcomers is you don't need to carry a lot of stuff. You really don't. And somebody said it just says we lowered our stream quality. Well, we just went over an hour, so I've got to probably
so we probably have to end this.
Start to wrap this up pretty quick. But anyway, all right. So it's not picking up the good color here, but there we go. If I turn it down there. So click on that and subscribe. We're on all of the major things.
And if I do say so, there's a lot of really good interviews that you have out there.
Yep, and we're having more and more fun with our interviews.
Okay, so they're telling us we're going to go off.
Yeah, they're going to take us
out of here.
All right, look at all the questions. So many more. We will go through and we'll kind of read these. If there's anything that we really need to answer, we'll try and answer it, or somebody else can have it. But thank you guys very much for being with us. It's 8:03. We've been on an hour already. All right. God bless you. We're on the road this week. Probably no Ask Us Anything next Sunday.